What's going on, Paisan? I'm Danny Sess. This is Sess Says Max Effort. Episode 3. Brian tagged in Steve Hendrickson, and we got Steve on the line today. Steve, what's going on?
Not much. Another day here, accepting the tag.
Yeah, another day for you, but a day for you is a long day. Even today, you were just telling me off camera. What have you done so far today?
So this morning I participated in the Madison Marathon 10K. There was a lot of runners. There was marathon runners, half marathon, 10K, and this is all happened this morning in the sprinkles. And then right afterwards, just to make it convenient for myself, I went and did my lunges right away, and then I drove home, and now we're here.
Geez. But even then, you went grocery shopping.
Went grocery shopping
today.
Yep, and I took my dog to the park too. He had to get out and get his exercise.
Amazed. I'm blown away. It came up in the group chat the other day about steps and how many steps everyone does, and you were like double everybody else. So you're an extremely active guy in a group of active men. So kudos, man. This was awesome. So I think this is one thing that the Max Effort guys don't do so much is like running. And here you are signing up for 10Ks. You told me you've run 26K recently. Like, these are amazing things to me because lunging puts so much stress on your legs.
Yeah, I've said it before in different posts and stuff. People talking in the group chat. I honestly think that lunges have bulletproof my legs. Like, I say that from a Spartan standpoint, a racing standpoint. Like, I feel like your lungs might not be there, but I feel like your legs every step of the way. Like, I remember it wasn't during my streak, but it was a time where I had, I would just doing the lunges just to do them. And I remember running a Spartan race, and it was through the tall grass. And I just remember all these people stopping because they couldn't get their footing and running. And it was through like swampish. And I just remembered, I'm just like, God, this doesn't even phase me, like my legs. And I've just always felt like since then, like lunges just bulletproof your legs. Like, I feel confidently that, my lungs and my rest of my body might not like it, but I feel like with no training, I could just go out and run a half marathon and just, nonchalantly finish it. It's not going to be a time I would like or I've done before, but it's like, I feel like my legs can do it. It's just the rest of your body has to catch up.
Yeah. What's your lunge streak at right now?
I was just looking for my phone to figure it out, but I'm talking on my phone. I think it's 1585.
Oh, geez, that's amazing.
I'm right behind Evan because I remember he had just reached a milestone, or I had reached it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm right behind you." And he's like, "Yeah, I know that." And he kind of told me that's what keeps me going every day is that you're right behind me. And
yeah, 1,500 plus and 1,400 in a row in the rain.
Yeah, and I remember I still remember the time I started my streak because I was always one of those. I never did it. I'd do it sometimes, or I'd get done working out and I'd lunge for like 5 minutes and be like, "Oh, there's my lunges for the day." And then it was right after 4th of July. We went somewhere for the weekend, and didn't run, didn't do anything, and I ate like garbage. And I don't know what it was, if it was the heat and not drinking water or just all the crap I ate, but like my body swelled up, like my fingers, my hands, my legs, and I just felt awful. And I remember I got home and I weighed myself, and I was like holding on to like 20 pounds of water weight. And I was like, this is not good. And so I was like, you need to figure shit out. And so I immediately, like, the next Monday did my workout, I lunged, and then I'm just like, it just started. And I started 800 right on the dot because I was like, all right, that's what we're doing. And that's where we went from there. And it just hasn't stopped.
The first time you ever lunged was 800 meters.
Well, I mean, the first day of my streak was 800, but I'd lunged, multiple different times before that, but nothing consistently. But my first day of my streak was 800.
Yeah, amazing. And I know I've seen you post on Instagram and stuff. You do miles regularly. So yeah, that's an amazing streak you have going.
I try. I gotta keep up with everyone. I mean, there's still guys that I didn't even know had their streaks so high, and all of a sudden you see, I forget who it was, but I saw somebody's streak, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like once you like start reaching out to more of the community, it's like God, all these guys, like there's guys with streaks bigger than mine, and then there's I saw somebody had a streak bigger than Jake's, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like it still blows my mind. Like I feel like I have a lot. Then you see, the other guys, and you're just like. All right, and I know Dalton, if he wouldn't have had his surgeries and everything, he'd be right up there. And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. But when I was talking to you, and I'm so happy I finally got to talk to you today, you told me a lot about your weight loss journey and how much you've lost over the last couple of years, especially dealing with Corey and the app. I would love for you to touch on some of that stuff because I think in terms of learning who people are and what makes them, this is an amazing accomplishment that you've been able to put together and stay so slim and so active the last couple of years.
yeah. So, like I was telling you, so it was all after my 21st birthday. I got a gym membership, just because I wasn't able to get to the school I was going to's gym every night since I moved out of town to it. And I just was like, all right, and the manager took me over to the scale to do like a fitness assessment, and it was like 345 point some odd number. And I just remember looking at it and being like, holy shit, like I didn't think I was this big. And I couldn't believe it. I was like shocked. And so then immediately I was, working out every day, trying to do stuff. Like I'd come in and walk on the treadmill for an hour, and I'd wear like two sweatshirts, an Under Armour shirt, like just I'd be there just sweating bullets. And then I'd work out again, to actually weight lift. And but then, the diet wasn't on point. So then you go home and eat a pizza and you're like, God, this isn't working out. But once I got everything, like started to figure out what a healthy diet was, and it just you didn't really notice it happen, and then you got comments from everyone like, "Oh my God, what's happened to you? Like you're like nothing now." And I remember like the first summer of my weight loss, because I used to live at my grandparents' house during the summer for work, because I'd work with a guy doing construction that was from that town, and I didn't have access to a gym that was nearby, so I bought a power rack from Dick's Sporting Goods and I set it up in their basement, and I was doing P90X in the basement, and I do like
Awesome.
I basically bought it for a pull-up bar. I bought this $300 rack because it had a pull-up bar on it, so I do pull-ups and I do P90X, and then I'd go for runs. That's because I'm like, oh, running gets you and makes you lose weight. And this was back before, I knew about running shoes and having a watch. Like I would just go out and run. And I would wear like basketball
Yeah.
shoes or like the Nike New Balances that dads would use to mow their yard, like cheap shoes. I'm just like, I just go run. And all of a sudden it was like it came into a non-negotiable, whereas I had to do this every day. I'd be out at 3 o'clock in the morning running down the highway, and you probably wore all black just because I didn't really know the rules of the road. And
Yeah.
I just remember every morning going out and running. I'd run to this spot and run back, and I'd like I got to be back by 4 o'clock. That's when my boss is leaving. Every morning I'd just get up and do it, and
Yeah.
it stuck. And then I wanted to get into actually working out again, and the big thing was the supplement craze started, and
Yep.
that's where I found Corey and reached out to him. And I remember he replied back to me, and I was like, no way. And he was replying back to the text. I messaged him on Twitter about coming to visit the Muscle Farm corporate headquarters and working out there in Colorado. And he's like, yeah, sure. Just let him know. Like, I let you in. Like, I'll tell him you're coming. And I never went, but I was just like, God, this is nuts. And then the years watching all the stuff through Muscle Farm, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared off the face of the earth. It felt like for a few months to a year, and all of a sudden here's MaxEffort, and you're like, holy shit, like he's back. And
Yeah.
like it's
Energy.
really cool. It's really cool when you get going down the rabbit hole, when people that have been around Corey stuff for a long time, we start talking about like the old flavors of aminos, or like the amino coffee, or this product he used to do, or all this stuff. Like, God, it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
thinking back, like I have on my gym belt wherever it's at. I have no idea where it's at anymore, but I had him autograph it in just big letters. It's just "Wake your ass up" with his signature under it, and I just always remember like looking at that every day, like holy shit, I met Corey. Like it was nuts.
Yeah, that's surreal. I mean, I'm hoping to get to one of these Max Effort events, and hopefully the next one is January or something. I'm really excited to meet him, and hopefully I can tell a story like this, 5 years down the road.
Yeah, it's funny when Evan was just talking about like the cigar video thing and like
Yeah,
them making these funny videos and stuff, and I remember seeing them at the Arnold the one year, and the last year I was going through my divorce from my first wife, and so like basically I spent half my time that weekend just on like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, like going through trying to find girls to go out on dates with while I was there. And I went out to breakfast with a girl before I went to the Arnold the last day, and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing the rest of the day?" I was like, "Oh, in a couple hours, I'm gonna go to the Arnold, and I got my flight home this afternoon." And she's like, "Oh, do you want to go day drink?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I went day drinking for like 3 hours. I show up to the Arnold, and I kind of like, forget what I said to Corey. He just started laughing. He's like, "You're a little hyped up, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, a little bit."
that's awesome. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, you say you've been around for a long time. This sweatshirt you're wearing, I've never seen this. I've only been around for a couple of years.
Yeah, the windbreaker. There was a good line of windbreakers there for a while. They had 3/4 zips, and then they had this one's a full one, and then I'm pretty sure I've got, because I forget someone had a blue one the other day, and I was like, I don't think I have a blue one, but I have like an
Yeah.
orange one, a camo, an army green, a white, a blue and yellow, or a blue and red one. Like I used to just like every time they would literally be like, "Oh, we're releasing this. Like, buy a stack, you get this free." Like, I was ordering like a stack like every other week. It felt like, so I'm like, "Oh yeah, I need this. I need this."
Oh yeah, the merch and the
I
Carhartt stuff coming out soon is going to be a hit with
I'm
all
per-
of us.
I'm pretty sure I've thrown away more than what I have now, which is bad. But
It's crazy. Yeah, I know. In the group chat recently, people were saying like, "What else should Max Effort come out with? What do we need?" People are like, "Please, no more shakers, no more flags."
oh god, I've thrown away so many shakers. My wife hates those shakers. Like
Yeah,
I came into our relationship with just like a tote full of them, and she was like, "No." And then
yeah,
I went through you got another flag, like the first subscription that came with a flag. She like shook
right.
her head like, "You got a flag," and I'm like, "Sorry."
Yeah, yeah. What a flag is cool, but yeah, I don't need three of them.
Yeah, and
Um,
then all these bands too. I've got like just a drawer full of just random Max Effort rubber bands that wear on your arms. It's like I've got like one in every color and all like the tie dye
yeah,
ones, and it's like anyone ever needs any, I got some.
yeah. Something else in the group chat that was coming up was what people listen to. Obviously, we talked to Brian about no audio November, but in your
Oh,
lifts, in your
that's
running,
crazy. That's crazy. I
yeah,
could never
crazy.
do that.
What do you listen to?
Right now I pretty much have a playlist that I started making for like running longer runs, and it's like so many hours long. Like it's got everything on it. It's got country, it's got rap, it's got rock, it's got oldies, it's got Whitney Houston, it's got everything. I am the biggest, for some reason I for one day all of a sudden was like obsessed with Whitney Houston. I want to dance with somebody. When that song comes on when I'm running, I hope I'm not singing out loud, but I probably am. But I'm just like, I get into it. I don't know why, but it's my
Whatever
jam.
works in a long run and in one of these get stack lifts, you need a little motivation from anywhere you can get it. So I appreciate that.
Oh, and there's times where I'll hear it at the gym over my headphones. I'll take my headphones out because I'm like, yep, my jam's on right now.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we
I've
I
got
mentioned the get stack.
I've got everything on it.
Yeah, we're 1 week through this 125. How did it go this first week back into get stack programming?
It didn't go terrible, so because I think I posted like, I think it was Thursday I posted, I was like, I'm back, it was literally probably, I think the day Dalton came out with the group chat, because I had a rain day from work. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to go to the gym today. And I did whatever pump 30 chest was that day. And I was like, oh my God. And so the next day, of course, I was like, I need to get back. Well, it didn't happen. And I just remember all day Thursday and then into Friday at work, I was like, God, I feel wrecked.
Wrecked,
And
yeah.
then I'm pretty sure on Saturday I did the back workout. I'm just like, oh God, I'm wrecked. And so then I was like, oh, Sunday, if we're gonna do start and get stacked, like don't go work out. And I'm pretty sure I went and did like most of the arms pump 30 from last week. And I'm just like, that was a terrible idea. And then like Monday came and I'm just like sitting there trying to find like my footing on the front squat, and I'm just like, this does not feel right. And then I'm just like trying to deadlift, and I was like, this doesn't feel right, because I'm like, I don't even remember the last time I've done any of those. And I'm just like, ugh. And I just, all of a sudden it's like the 5 sets of everything, and then you're just like all the pull-ups and chin-ups, and I'm like, I can't do a pull-up or chin-up anymore. I don't have the strength for it. I'm too a little on the chunkier side. But I'm like, I'll go and get a band, and I'm still like, God, this sucks. I'm like so worried that this band's gonna come up and snap me, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
Corey
we powered through.
Yeah, I was going to say, Corey talks about, not every day you're going to have your best stuff, especially starting this program again. It's so much volume. There's so much, chin ups, pull ups, how many reps, repetitions, and sets.
Yeah.
So don't beat yourself up about it. Getting through it and completing it, that's 99% of this program. If you can do it, that's motivating in itself.
Even getting into, like, I was super nervous about like Wednesday for like legs. I was like, I haven't done just legs in forever. And this is the first time I actually got to use like a specialty bar, because like my new Anytime has one of the safety squat bars. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'll get to try something different. And like midway through, I realized I was using it the wrong way, because it's supposed to be able to like sit on your shoulders, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell the difference, which was forward or backwards. I'm like, God, this doesn't feel right. And then I tried it the other way, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to sit this way. So then I had to take all the weight around and turn the bar around and then put it back on. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, but yeah, definitely once you get into Wednesday where it's, a shorter workload, you're like, oh, this is great. But it's like, even benching just felt rough, because I was like, I already felt just demolished from Monday, and I'm trying to get back into like throwing some bench around. I was like, this doesn't feel right either. And it's just so weird, like getting under a barbell other than the pump 30s that you've done here and there a few times, where it was like, 4-way bench press, closer, medium, wide grip of 10.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like trying to do like a max effort load, and you're just like, oh, I can't even bench close to that anymore. Whoops.
Yeah, I feel the same way. My endurance is good, but my strength is a little down from all the pump 30 stuff. So I'm hoping that it's going to pop back up in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. I know I wanted to try to keep these a little short, but I feel like I could talk to you for another hour. Good luck.
I have that effect.
Good luck in the next week of Get Stacked. I'm sure the group chat's still going to be going nuts, but I would love for you to tag another person in for another conversation I could have with somebody. This is great meeting everybody.
Yep. So after you did the first one with Dalton and he like had to tag someone in, I just was like, God, I've talked to these people before. I've heard from these people, or like they've been on Corey's, member cast, or they got interviewed. But I went and I looked for somebody that I just got introduced to, that I've never had any conversations with outside of the group chat, just the back and forth in the group chat. But I'm picking Clyde just because I do really like the name, and I don't really know him, and I'm intrigued by the new members and that I'm getting to kind of get to know here in the group chat.
That's awesome. I mean, I think people would lean to pick their friends. So I love the idea of picking someone you really don't know. All right, Clyde, get loose. We'll be in contact. And this was great, Steve. Best of luck.
Perfect.
Heal up. Good job with the race today.
I'm glad to be here and glad to talk. And like you said, I could talk and tell stories for hours. That's what my family does. That's what I do. And Like I told you, and you wanted me to shout him out, but I'm giving the shout out to Dalton because I told Danny, I go, if he wouldn't have made this group chat, I probably wouldn't have done Get Stacked this week. I probably just would have ran a few times and lunged and called it good. So props to you, brother.
Right. And I
Props to
think
you.
everybody has taken a step back. Like, you know what? I've been getting a little too soft with the pump 30s. It's time to get back and to Get Stacked. I love it. Great shout out. Good job, Dalton. All right. Take care, Steve.
Peace.